G'day. Hey, Gandalf. How are you? All right. Golf. Back to golf. Golf is my thing. Slot cars are my fun. Racing and going fast is my thing. Slot cars are a way of racing and going fast. Golf is a way of racing and going fast. You can't tell me a golf ball traveling 300 meters is not going fast. It is about speed. It's also dangerous. Don't want to kill people, okay? When we're playing golf. People die playing golf. Don't tell me they don't. They do. Now, this guy here is probably the best explanation I've ever seen for the standard sort of grip and swing that is being taught to people today that destroys backs. But am I exaggerating? Tiger Woods has 4 back operations. I don't have any. I've been playing for 51 years. I don't have any back operations. I have scoliosis. I have a fucked back. Let's see what this guy has to say about holding a club and about swinging it and why you lot have a bad back from golf and I don't. As a matter of fact, I have the opposite. It helps my back. I have scoliosis. I mentioned that. Scoliosis here. Okay, here. This is where my scoliosis is. All right. If you know what if you don't know what scoliosis is, look it up. Now, let's have a look at this guy.
One of the most important things in setup is how you hold the club. I don't think it's the number one fundamental in setup. I think distance away from the ball is, but a close second is how you hold the club correctly.
So, the distance away from the ball, right, is he thinks is the most important thing. Let's see how he gets his distance from the ball. I'll show you how I get my distance from the ball. All right, I use my grip. He says it's not as important as the distance from the ball. Grip's not as important. You get your distance from the ball using the grip. I think that's what he says next. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Let's have a look in a second. But this is how I get my distance. All right, I hold the club in my hand, not in my fingers, in my hand. All right, I have big hands too. All right, so I'm struggling to do that because of the size of my hands. It makes it hard for me. All right, but I do it. Hold it in my hands. I don't hold it all the way in my hands. I don't hold it here. I hold it here. All right, in my hand. Thumb straight down the shaft. All right, straight down the shaft. To do that, you have to push it out, and then this hand comes underneath, goes over the top. Garden grip, standard. Thumb wraps around the shaft because it's not needed. All you're doing is holding this thumb. Right, goes around, holds that thumb. All right, so it's in my hands. Now I go and I straighten my arms out. All right, and I relax. Relax. Standard. Everything else is the same as a normal setup. Back straight, head up, chin tucked in, knees slightly bent. Okay, and here, am I struggling to get? He says, watch. I won't say what he says, but I don't struggle to get that club on the ground. As a matter of fact, I can really get it on the ground. All right, really fucking hard. Let's see what he says.
I don't think there's a textbook way to hold the club. The reason for that is everybody's built different. Hand size is different. We have so many bones in our hands and ligament structures in our hands, and not everybody's the same. However, if you'll follow these principles,
hang on.
You'll learn.
Not everybody's the same. Here, your hand, okay? Your hand. All right, that's your hand. My hand. We have 4 fingers and a thumb. We have a palm. All right. We have this, the Mons, whatever that is, the mound of love, and we have knuckles. He's right. We have lots of ligaments. We have lots of tendons. We have lots and lots and lots, but they're all the same unless for some reason you were born without a finger, or you're born without half a finger, or you're born with a half a thumb. I know people like that, but everybody is basically the same. 90% of people have a hand that's the same as this. All right, it's just a different size. We have the same knuckles, we have the same ligaments, we have the same joints, lots and lots and lots of them, all the nerves, everything in here. This is why I hold it in my hand, because we have so many nerves, so many muscles, so many ligaments, so many joints, so many tendons in here. This is the most sensitive part of our body. It's not your dick, it's not your tits, it's not your chest. It's your hands, followed by your feet, because our feet are very similar. All right, let's go. We are all different, but our hands are basically the same. Come on.
What's the correct way to hold it for you? I was a baseball player growing up, and a baseball bat has a lot thicker grip
I've never played baseball. Shit
than a
going.
golf club does, and that's on purpose.
Garbage.
In baseball, we hold the bat in the palms of our hands.
All right.
Line up your knuckles.
In
Palms
baseball,
of our hands.
you hold. Well, hang on. Let's see what else he says about this.
That is really good at being powerful at waist high.
Okay. All right. Let's look at a different sport. Okay. He wants to look at fucking baseball. What a load of shit. Okay, baseball. Let's look at cricket. Cricket. I grew up playing cricket. Cricket. Big, thick handle. Same as a baseball bat. Right? Take it in your hands. We hold the cricket bat in our hands. Right? Generally like that. Okay? Down here, like that. Not like this, although you can. And you can hold a cricket bat in your hands, same as what he's talking about with baseball. You can do that. A lot of people do it, and they do this. Wait a minute. Aren't they supposed to be here? Oh, damn. No wonder cricketers don't get it right. We're supposed to be here, aren't we? Right. We play here, guys. We get the bat on the ground and we do this and we do that. Or we do this, or we do that, or we do that. Following his logic, I should be playing cricket like this. All right, whatever. Let's move on.
So good baseball players swing at good pitches, and they hold the bat the way they hold the bat because that's what produces the most power.
Does it? Exactly. And that's why it produces the most power in golf.
The ball's on the ground.
Doesn't have to be at waist height.
We have to hold the club much more in our fingers.
Produces the most power because they hold the baseball bat in their hands. Power isn't here, guys. Power is in your hands and in your body, not here. Here. Doesn't matter. Here. Power's here. Power's here. Power's here. Here. Not just in your hands. However, that's what he wants to do.
And that's why the grip on a golf club is skinnier than a baseball bat, is it allows us to hold it in our fingers and we can get the club on the ground. You'll notice if I hold it in my palms that my arms and wrists and elbows don't look very comfortable as I try to get the club head to get to the ground.
If I hold the club in my hand, my arms and wrists and hands and arms don't look very comfortable. Is that right? Is it? They look bloody comfortable to me because you know what? That's straight out. That's normal. Everything's in line. All the power is now aligned. Hold it in your fingers. All right, you get down here. All right, hold it in my fingers. Used to do that. Did that shit. I get it. I understand. You know what? Doesn't work.
From this position, I only have two ways to try to hit the ball. I either have to go this way or I have to go that way, and neither one of them's any good. Really?
So when I switched from holding the golf club in my fingers, in my hands, all right, it was forced on me. I didn't do it. It was forced on me. When I was driving the ball with my fingers and hitting the ball the way he wants to do it, okay, I hit the ball 310, 315 meters, all right, 310, 315 meters. When I switched to holding it in my hands, suddenly it went to 400 meters, 400 yards, 360 meters. Is that coming over here or under here? Is it? I don't think so. You know what it does? when you hold it in your hands. Doesn't get you in here, doesn't get you over there. What it does is it gets you in line. Right? Get you in line. Because now that everything's here, triangular, right? Everything's relaxed. It's not awkward getting the club to the ground. It's not awkward getting a golf. It's not awkward getting a cricket bat to the ground when you hold it in your hands. That's where it wants to go. Nobody bats cricket like this. Okay? To the hands. You know what happens? It's difficult in here. Let's get a shorter club. Shall we? Let's get a shorter club. Something we can use like he's got. Let's go, I don't know. What do we got? Something short. What's that? 7-iron? It's my 7-iron. Oh, 9-iron, better. Hey, Bill. 9-iron shorter. All right. 11 minutes. All right. All right. Okay. 9-iron. Right. How is that awkward? Come on, guys. How is that awkward? Get to the ground. Straighten your hands out. Go to here. Oh, for God's sake. Okay. Here. He says you've got to come over the top or you've got to come and get caught inside. Tiger Woods gets caught inside all the time. It's why he blocks it right and why he hooks it. If you haven't seen Tiger Woods recover, then you haven't watched him play. He recovers more than he's in the fairway because he gets caught inside, because he holds the club in his hand. When you hold it in your fingers, when you hold it in your fingers, that's when you get here. That's when you get here, because you get caught inside. And your hands get ahead, hands get behind, get caught. And you've got to fix it. Right? You've got to fix it. And that's why you block it right or you pull it. Okay? That's what Woods does. It's what I do when I hold it in my fingers. Get it in your hands, right? Like a baseball bat, whatever the fuck that means. And you go, like putting, okay? Putt with your shoulders. Do you putt with your shoulders? I bet you fucking don't. Well, you should. All right, putt with your shoulders. All right, putt with your shoulders. Don't turn your body. Putt with your shoulders. All right, lock everything up. Lock your hands. Lock your wrists. Get your head in the right position. Putt with your shoulders. Same with an iron. Straight back. All right, straight to here. Arms still out. Right. Okay. Finish there. Okay. Don't want to turn anymore. Turn shoulders. Right elbow goes out, club goes up. Guess what? It's pointing at the target. Then you cast back into here, come down here and hit the ball. And it's a lovely low action because you've cast up here. I only go to here, all right? Elbow out, cast, bang, all right? See what he has to say. He's completely the opposite of what actually happens.
But if I hold it in my fingers correctly,
you get caught inside.
You can see how much more relaxed my arms and my hands and my elbows are, and it's a lot easier to
no more relaxed.
Reach the ground where the ball's at.
Is it? No, it's not.
That simple. The other thing that I like to explain is that we need to hold the club in such a way that we can actually swing on the correct plane or the correct path. And I'll show you what I mean by this. The definition of swing plane with the shaft is that you want the shaft to point at the target line during your swing.
Yeah.
If I hold it in correctly, it is impossible for me to make that end of the club point at the target line. But if I hold it correctly in my fingers, then it happens very easily.
So you do this.
A really good drill you can get at home is hold it just the way you're holding it.
Do this.
If you're incorrect, so you have too strong of a right-hand grip for a right-handed player, you will see that it's almost impossible.
My club points at my groin.
Point at the target line very comfortably.
Then it points at the target. And it comes back pointing at my... It's wet, comes back to where it starts.
That's one checkpoint that I like.
Let's go back.
Player, you will see that it's almost impossible to get the club to point at the target line very comfortably. But when you do point, you'll have to move your hand and you'll get in that correct position. That's one checkpoint that I like. The other thing that I like is that I think it's very important that our thumbs and forefingers look like this as we hold the club. And not very many people talk about this, and they should, in my opinion. If you watch a player on television, a tour player, you will always see that their index finger is longer than their thumb, and it happens on both hands.
Oh, the old trigger grip.
The club through my hands with the shaft playing correctly as well. So I like people to hold their thumbs and fingers just like that, and then just let them hold on with the fingers there, hold on with the fingers there, and you'll have a correct looking golf grip. A lot of people get hung up on what to do with a pinky. I think it's a matter of preference. There's not a right or wrong answer. Most new players, I recommend that they hold it with all 10 fingers. When I was growing up, almost all players had an overlap or a Barden grip, it's called, because Harry Barden did this. And then when Jack Nicklaus came along, he interlocked. And Tiger interlocked because his dad told him Jack Nicklaus interlocked. So arguably the two best players that ever live are interlockers, but they're really in the minority on what to do with this pinky. Most professionals overlap. But if you want to interlock, great. If you want to overlap, great. If you want 10 fingers, great. If you notice, as I set up here, that's 10 fingers, that's overlap, that's interlock. I'm really not changing how I hold the club at all. It's just what my preference is, what to do with these fingers.
All right, how we going? Harry Varden won, I believe, 8 Open Championships. Jack Nicklaus hits the ball a long way. Harry Varden obviously hit the ball a long way. Jack Nicklaus, interlocking grip. I don't use the interlocking grip. I was taught the Varden grip when I was a kid. I read it in a book. I was taught by a pro. First time I ever encountered golf was school. We went to the golf course in a school class and we learnt to hold a club. This was a group of 13 kids, Maitland Golf Course in 1971. Learnt to hold the club, not in our fingers, in our hands back then. All right, we learnt to hold the club, put it down, and he taught us to do this. And then he said, see ya. So, it's another story. I'll tell you another time. But that's why I use the Varden grip. I've tried the interlocking grip, hurts my knuckles. The Varden grip felt funny when I first started playing, but it never gave me any pain. But the interlocking grip hurts. So, do what you want.
So I overlap, but interlock's great, 10 fingers great. Experiment and see what's best for you. The other thing that I would tell you that I like as a rule that you can learn is if I take my finger like this, like I'm shooting a gun with my fingers and it's curled like this, that's how that club fits in there. This trigger finger then is there, and I have this space here between my middle finger.
The old trigger finger. Again.
Every player, it looks like that. That goes back to having these thumbs and these forefingers be longer than my thumb on the club. It creates this space here, and that.
You know what it also does? The trigger finger. Yeah, the trigger finger. You know what it also does? Is it pulls when you swing. It pulls because it's not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be there. It wants to come back to there. It pulls. Believe me, it pulls. Have fun with it.
That's the way to hold a golf club properly. And if you'll practice that and look, you'll be better off.
Look, you'll be better off. Look. When was the last number one in the world that did anything consistent? 30 years ago, Tiger Woods, he was number one for a while. I think Greg Dickhead Norman still holds the record for number one. Nobody stays at number one now. Nobody. You know why nobody stays at number one? This isn't consistent. This isn't consistent. This works. Sure, it works. But it's not consistent. It'll get you to scratch. It'll get you to on the tour, but it's not fucking consistent.
Mention on grip is how much do I put my hands this way? Do I put my hands this way? That's also a preference depending on what your ball flight is. For most players, I like you to learn to have a fairly neutral grip. Not too weak, not too strong.
All right. A neutral grip. Neutral grip. Not too weak, not too strong. Weak, strong. Weak, strong. Neutral. Guess what? When it's in your hand, it has to be neutral. You have no choice. Right? Right? Everything lines up. Here, lines up with your thumb. Thumb goes straight down the shaft. Perfectly neutral. And then when you grip that thumb with your right hand, right? Everything, guess what? Is perfectly neutral. Perfect. Perfectly neutral. Here, neutral. Here, neutral. All right? Here, neutral. Okay? The club doesn't want, when you have a strong grip, go back here. Club does that. Have a weak grip, go back here. Club does that. Strong grip. Strong grip, go back here. Club does that. And then when you're finished, club does that. Right? As you hit, strong grip, club does that. Weak grip, come back here. Club opens up, weak grip. As you hit, club does that. Because your hands want to be neutral. Right? Your hands have an instinct. Your hands want to go back to being neutral. So start neutral. Guess what? It works. This doesn't. This is not consistent.
The V's of these hands should be parallel to each other. So I see a lot of players that have a pretty good left hand grip like this, and then they put their right hand on the club like this, and so you can see that those lines between my thumb and forefingers aren't parallel to each other. That's parallel. And that's how that
Oh, God damn.
You have.
I went through this when I was 12 years old. 11 years old. I went through this in 1971. Keep your hands together. It's really simple. Grab the thumb. If you want to be strong, still grab the thumb. Right? You want to be weak, still grab the thumb. Fix it.
To face it, a lot of good players you'll see on TV actually take their grip with their hands in front of their face so they can see the lines of those hands and where they're pointing. Because when you're down here, if you got hands like mine, you cannot see those lines correctly. So learn to take your grip up here so you know where it's pointing.
Learn to take your grip up here. Point your thumb straight down the shaft. In your hand. Finger, whatever, interlocking. Grip your thumb. All right? See? Grip your thumb. Look. Grip your thumb. All right? Then your hands work together, and your arms work together, and your chest works together, and there's none of this.
A couple of death moves with grips, and it's usually with their bottom hand for a right-handed player, their right hand. And I either find they're too much under and too much in the palm like this, or they're too much over. It's amazing to me how many students come to me with right-hand grips that look like this. Their buddies, they're slicers. They slice the ball. All their buddies tell them to move their hand this way and it'll correct for a slice. But that's the opposite way to do it. See, our right hand and our club face should be the same. The palm of my hand and my club face should be the same. When my hand gets over this way, my palm points down. And in fact, what naturally happens is my palm's going to face the ball, and if I hold it like that, I'm always going to be open at impact.
What naturally happens is your palms are going to face the ball. No, what naturally happens is your eye line, right? Now let's use another sport again. Okay, what happens with your eyes in relation to your hands? A lot of you guys will shot a pistol. A lot of you guys are fucking Yanks, right? So you have guns. I've shot pistols, right? Now, shooting a pistol is really simple. Bang. Isn't it? Bang. I can get my gun belt. I've still got my gun belt. I don't keep a gun here. I don't need a gun. I don't want a gun. I couldn't be bothered getting a gun license, but I've shot guns. I have a gun belt in there, right? So flip the top of the belt, pull the gun, bang. Easy. You want to aim it, close one eye, your weak eye, use your strong eye, and bang. All right? Bang. Shooting a pistol's done with your subconscious. Okay? Done with your subconscious. Point at what you want to hit with your finger, bang. 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 That's how you shoot a pistol. Bang. 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 Like pointing your finger. Done with your subconscious. It's not done by going where your hands are, is it? You don't get down behind a pistol and go, bang. You can, but you don't need to. Bang. My clusters, 10 meters, hit, no aiming, both eyes open, bang. 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 6 shots. This big. 1 out here, slightly to the right. 5 in that. Bang. Your eyes follow your hands. What you do with your hands is where your eyes go. Putting. If your hands are here when you putt, if the ball's here and you're over here, when you're putting, your hands will want to get under your eyes. What's in your hands? You'll want to push it under your eyes. Your hands go where your eyes go. This is wrong.
And then the other thing from this poor right hand position is it really tends to make that club swing too steep and over the top. So man, that's a death move to have this right hand over here too much. Learn to get the V's of your hands parallel to each other.
Grip your thumb. Guess what? When you grip your thumb, look, the V's are parallel.
For most players, it ought to point over here towards their ear or their collarbone. That's a pretty good place for that to point. And so if you learn to hold the club correctly, if you learn to hold it in the fingers, you'll end up playing a lot better golf. I get a lot of questions on.
Will you? Better than maybe you're playing at the moment. Possibly. But if you want to be any good, no. Well, shall we leave it at there? I'll leave it at there for now. This guy's not an idiot. He knows what he's doing. I get it. I've played like him. I've played like him for years. I did all that shit. I understand it. I know where he's coming from. Everybody, all these people do the same thing, and then they finish up with a bad back. And they don't hit the ball as far. I lose 50 meters when I hit the ball the way he says. Fuck that shit.